The queen of Honkai Star Rail has finally come home in my account, and I want to make a video about Himiko. I have not played Impact Third, so this is my first awakening to her. I see the hype. She is gorgeous, and she's also really solid. She got a decently sized buff from the beta to this live patch, so I wanted to make a video on her immediately right when I got her. I'm gonna show you guys relics, best way to build her, and it's just a quick, easy, simplified guide on how to play Himiko in Honkai Star Rail. Let's jump in. So for the first few things you want to know about this character is the obvious stuff, right? One, she's obviously a fire character, so she triggers weakness break, dealing fire damage, and she can apply that burn effect, which is incredible because it does damage over time. Damage over time is always phenomenal, especially on an AoE character, so that's a big plus. We love to see that. Not to mention as well too, from the erudition class, which basically means that she deals remarkable amounts of multiple target damage and the main damage dealer as well too against groups of enemies. So she is the premier AoE damage dealer that is not including Clara. Her basic attack is pretty easy, single target, and it deals fire damage equal to a certain percentage of her attack to a single enemy. Very simple stuff right here. Her talent though is quite unique, stating here when an enemy is inflicted with weakness break, Himiko gains 1 point of charge, and she can gain 3 total. If Himiko is fully charged when an ally performs an attack, she immediately performs a 1 follow-up attack. The big thing about this as well too is that it's automatic. You do not have to do much to make this happen. That's always really big. She can deal loads of AoE damage as well too, and the actual follow-up is AoE, so it's phenomenal. Now her Starfire bonus effect is not that bad as well too, as it simply just gives you a 50% chance to inflict a burn on an enemy for 2 turns, and while that enemy is afflicted with a burn, they take fire DOT, and it's also equal to 30% of her attack. So if you've not gotten it by now, you definitely want to build this character with attack percent, as most of her damage is going to be coming from attack percent. It's definitely worth investing into that, as almost everything in her kit does scale off that. Her other skill is pretty simple as well too, just deal loads of fire damage, so this character is godlike when it comes to dealing fire damage. And not to mention as well too, it ricochets, so it actually does hit the adjacent enemy right next to it. Her technique is not that bad as well too. It puts up this field that basically gives you a 100% chance to increase fire damage. Now when it comes to light cones, she does have a plethora of solid light cones that are really good on her. The one that I use is Today is Another Peaceful Day. This is one you can actually get for free in the battle pass, which I definitely recommend using. It's really solid on her, and the passive is really good on her as well too. You enter the battle, you get an increase of damage based on your maximum energy. This is solid because her ultimate has a built-in energy refund on scoring kills, so she's going to be charging a lot of energy for herself. A few other light cones that are good on her as well too is Before Dawn. I do not have this light cone, but it increases your crit damage by a certain percentage, 36 on flat, and it also increases your skill and ultimate damage by 18%. It's good on also increasing the damage of follow-up attacks, which is exactly what Himiko does. So this is easily going to be one of her strongest light cones. Her premier light cone is really good on her as well too. It is of the erudition class, and the passive just works really great with her. It's a 5-stack total stacking passive where you're stacking attack, and then of course as well too, when you cause weakness break, the damage is also increased follow-up from that on 30%. At max, it's actually insane. It's 50%. So this is also genuinely nasty at her as well too. This is her pose is also good on her as well too. This also increases attack percent, and it increases your crit damage by 24% for 3 turns. You can acquire this light cone as well too, pretty easy, and I do recommend using this one on her as well too. It increases the damage by 12%, and then every time you kill something, you also get an attack increased by 4% and attack 3 times. So obviously this gets increased further the more stacks you put on it, the higher you level it up, and the more in positions. But this is a really good one for her as well too. Her traces are pretty straightforward. Almost all of them benefit her in some way, shape, or form for massive damage amps on her fire damage, her modifiers, her attack percent. Some of them also as well to increase the effect rate on a lot of the things that are already inside of her kit. They can actually hit some crazy numbers the more you increase them, as one of the follow-ups can deal damage equal to 98% on level 5. Definitely worth building up the traces. Obviously, of course, you want to build them for all the characters, but Himiko's are just all damage amps, and the better you invest inside of her, the more damage she is, and the more investments you actually give to Himiko, the higher of a carry she is. She is definitely one of those characters that she becomes a lot better with a lot of love and really high investment. Now, me personally, I like this relic set the best on Himiko. I'm sure there's others out there, but I don't really have any interest in those. I like this, and it's pretty self-explanatory. The Firesmith of Lava Forging is built for fire carries. It increases your fire damage by 10% for the 2-piece effect, and the 4-piece increases your skill damage and your ultimate damage. For the specific parts that I actually would recommend building on your Himiko, mine are a little scuffed as I'm trying to get some better ones. Crit rate is easily the best when it comes for her body. For the planner sphere, I do recommend fire damage boost. It's similar to Genshin, where it's your specific same type bonus for the goblet, the cup. So usually for these, you want to get that same type bonus. So for her, I do recommend running the fire damage boost. The link rope, I'd run attack percent, as this is just really good for her because she does scale off this. So the more attack percent, the better. And for the feat, I'd run speed. I don't have speed. I have HP. It's level 3. I just really needed the effect, and I'm still trying to get one. Subsets I'd prioritize easily is crit damage, crit rate, and also as well too, attack percent and speed are very good on her as well. Overall, guys, I think Himiko is a really solid pick if given the proper love. This character can do some crazy numbers. She's a top tier AoE damage character by far. The only one that I would personally think does even crazier numbers than her is Clara, and I sadly cannot bring Clara home. Damage over time is also going to be really big the later you get into the game, and she is a god when it comes to that because the fire damage over time is beautiful. Wearing things down, chipping things down, and also doing increased damage on things that do have the burn effect is beautiful. Now for teams, I recommend running with Himiko as she isn't the most bulkiest character in the game. Her HP stat barely sitting above 1,000. I recommend running some sort of a shield character with her, Shepard, March 7th, or even Fire MC, which is really good with her. I do recommend even running. Fire MC is a phenomenal character and a godlike tank and is also the same element, so that wouldn't be too off for running with her. You want some sort of a really strong single target damage character as well too. Now I was fortunate enough to get Sealy, but other characters work as well. You could use Dan Heng. Dan Heng is a solid single target carry, so that's going to be a great character that could also work with her. Or Su Sheng. So just having some sort of single target is going to be good for Himiko teams because her single target is underperforming and probably one of her few flaws. She's not the best at it and she's mainly AoE, so typically with AoE carries, you want to have one really good single target character to be able to dish out that damage when you do that DOT afflicted damage over time and wear things down. Last but not least, of course, obviously a healer. You can run Natasha, you can run Bailu. I don't have Bailu, but you can run Natasha. Natasha is an amazing character and truly nowhere near as bad as some people say. I know, some people think she's bad, it's crazy. But putting on a healer is always going to be really good. There's only 2 in the game right now, so run them while you can. Natasha or Bailu fits really good into the spot. And not to mention as well too, personally, I do think she's probably the best character when it comes to farming. She just hits everything. It's constant AoE damage. It's really good AoE damage, and she makes farming easy. If you want to sit down, not really worry, watch some stuff, auto farm some stuff, Himiko is your girl. What is going to be a little frustrating while playing this character though is that she does kind of need her traces unlocked as soon as possible. This is a character that you want to unlock these super fast, so level her up definitely when you can. Like if you pull her, I would definitely recommend leveling her up pretty fast. I got her to 50 and I'm locked behind her right now, so I can go beyond that. But again, level her up as soon as possible because this character with these damage amps are insane. Starfire is what I recommend unlocking first. You do loads of damage to characters who are afflicted by burn. The DOT also skyrockets as well too. Let me know what you guys think of Himiko and let me know if you actually did bring her home. Did you enjoy the video? Leave a like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one.